Tune in to Riverside Drive. You never know who's going to show up. Today, we are pleased to have Senator Jim Toms with us. Good day, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm so glad that you came and made time in your schedule.
So I've been here.
You've been here before a number of times, but there's a big event happening. It's a Saturday. That's 2 days from now. And it's the Bill of Rights Day celebration. So explain a little bit about what that means. I guess we ought to step back and talk about what the Bill of Rights is.
Well, that was an interesting story if you read the history of it. But during the development of our Constitution back in 1787 and 1788, there was a confrontation about the Constitution didn't have any particular protection for the citizens. And guys like Patrick Henry and George Mason was holdouts from Virginia on signing that Constitution until there was some guarantees of protection for the citizens. And as a result, about a 2-year process of facing off with the Federalists, we've got a Bill of Rights. And so in 1791 it was adopted, and it's been a wonder that we've had this. You know, when you look at other countries around the world, nobody has anything close to this.
Yeah.
And so it was something that used to be celebrated quite a bit, because December the 15th, 1791 is when it was adopted. So that date used to be celebrated quite a bit. In fact, some parts of like New York and California, would set by a whole week aside just to celebrate Bill of Rights Day.
Well, we celebrate, now we think of, okay, July 4th is Independence Day because that's the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Right.
And then, the Constitution would have come next?
Yeah.
And then the Bill of Rights.
Right.
But you hear people talk about the Bill of Rights, but we don't necessarily celebrate it so much anymore, do we?
Well, everybody exercises them every day.
Well,
and we do hear the statement, I have my rights. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you wonder, do they really know what they are? And so what we're hoping to do on Saturday at the Central Library in the Browning Room from 10 o'clock until 12 o'clock, we're going to have a little pageant and celebrate this spectacular day in our country. And so we'll have some music, mm-hmm. and there's going to be some presentations. We had some school kids that wrote essays, and we're awarding prizes for the winners. I think 3 places on that.
Oh, wow.
And we'll have some speakers. I'm one of them that will be speaking, and it's free to the public. So we hope people will come by and visit.
So 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
in the Browning Room.
Mm-hmm.
And that you park in that back parking lot to get there?
Right.
Okay.
And there's underground parking, too, in the garage. So there's parking down under the...
It shows you how much I know. I didn't even know there was underground parking there. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm using the underground parking if it's cold.
Okay.
But, that is neat that you do this. Now, why did you decide to have this celebration?
I don't think a lot of people even know we have this day. And it used to be on our calendars, but very few calendars even have it on the month of December. Even some of the there's very few of the military calendars anymore that have recognition of that day. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you read about it, there was a time when, like I said, states like California and New York and other states would have an entire week set aside for that celebration. And I know that across the country there are groups and there are individuals that put together some kind of little recognition or celebration. So it does take place, but it's not a common occurrence.
So there's a Bill of Rights. Give me a few of the rights that we are granted in the Bill of Rights.
Well, we have the right to practice our faith,
mm-hmm.
Free speech, freedom of press. We have the right to bear arms. We have right to a fair trial. We have right to protection from unreasonable search and seizure. So there's an entire category here. And like I said, some countries, such as Canada, which adopted a Bill of Rights, I think it was like 1960, their Bill of Rights is pretty vague, does not contain any of the specifics that we have in ours. And that's why I say ours is very unique.
Ours is very unique from other countries. And
yes.
I haven't traveled a lot internationally, just a little bit, but some of the countries that I've been to, it's very clear they do not have our Bill of Rights.
Right. That's correct. And
you don't have freedom of speech in many countries.
No. And, you know, it's important that as Americans we understand what a gift that was. And it's an inherent right. These are inherent rights from our Maker, by the way. Yeah. It was just put in writing by our founders.
There you go.
They didn't provide it. They just put it in writing.
Yeah.
So it's important, I think, for Americans to know what they are and how valuable they are. And if they don't keep in mind how precious they are, I think they may wind up losing them, because if they don't understand the value, maybe they will let some government entity take them away. So it's important that, you know, in our schools, that we educate the kids in school about this and keep that in the minds of our citizens from school age to senior citizens.
Do you feel like students are learning about this? Do you feel like in our schools?
Well, you know, I think they are, but over the years, like I said, we've done when we've done these and had these Bill of Rights days, we've always invited schools to participate in essays and grades from 6th to high school. Some of the essays that we go through, it does bring suspect whether they are learning the proper purpose and what those rights are, because when you read the essays, not always, but there's just enough that makes you wonder, is it being taught like it should be? So,
wow. Well, and that's important, and that I'm sure that's something that our education department should really keep up with too.
Yeah.
And so we're talking to Senator Jim Toms. He's in town. Of course, he lives here, close, because he represents District 49, which it's kind of like west of Evansville West.
Yes, it's all of Posey County, and the western section of Vanderbilt County, and the southern portion of Gibson.
Okay, so yeah, it's that section. And how long have you been a senator?
Well, I'm coming up on my 8th year, which is my second term.
Okay.
And it has been an extraordinary experience. It really has. Amen. It really has been a blessing, I'm going to tell you, because I never imagined I would be in a slot like this.
Well, I'm sure you're some high-powered lawyer that decided to go to get elected so you could, you know, run some things, right?
Right.
Isn't that your background? You're not a high-powered lawyer?
My background is a commercial truck driver for 33 years. And when I got elected in 2010 and went up to the State House, it was interesting because some of the lobbyists and people would meet me. They would ask me, said, what did you do before you became a senator? And I know some were expecting, I would say, you know, I have a law practice or a medical practice or a business interest or something like that.
Or retired school teacher.
Yeah, and when I tell them that, no, I drove a truck for 33 years. And their eyes kind of get big as saucers, and they say, well, I think that's neat. And I say, I do too, because I always felt it would be nice for somebody from the working class.
Yep.
Nothing against all the other ones. I'm happy for them. But I think it serves us sometimes well to have people from the working class that knows the struggles of working class people.
Exactly. And I agree. And if our representatives are supposed to represent us, it's nice to have people of all different walks of life, not just all lawyers or not just all of one profession.
I think so. I think it balances it out, you know. And like I say, I you know, when you're up at the State House and you're dressed up in a suit and tie and people are talking very polite to you, and that is an experience in itself, and it's nice. But I never lose sight of those days when I was crawling underneath that trailer in the dead of winter, hammering on those brake adjusters for them brakes to free up so I could roll away from the dock. So I think that's one of the things that I talk about when working class. You don't forget what that's like.
Right.
And it helps you when you're discussing issues that affect people, all people, whether small business, corporations, or the working people. You understand and you remember what that's about.
Sure. And that has to be valuable as new pieces of legislation come up, and so you know how to vote on it.
Right.
Was there anything, while I've got you here, I know we were talking about Bill of Rights. So, well, anyway, Senator, thanks for coming in. Let's talk again. Let's give the facts about this Saturday, what's happening. Big celebration. It's a Bill of Rights Day celebration. Tell us again the time and the location.
The time is going to be from 10 o'clock in the morning till 12, and it will be at the Evansville Library downtown in the Browning Room, and it's free and open to the public.
All right, no cost, folks. So this would be a good thing. You know, a lot of people, it's easy to get on Facebook and Twitter and complain about government or complain about different things. Why don't you go celebrate, this document, which was so vital to our founding.
And it is a family affair.
All right, bring the whole family.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, sir, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful crowd.
Thank you, Dan.